And now for something completely different. Hey everybody, I'm John the Other, obviously. And my channel's been online a long time, and a lot of people now subscribed, or maybe not subscribed but watching, may not remember that this used to be an atheist channel. And I want to talk about that a little bit. Now, am I still an atheist? I guess technically I am. Not that I go bang a drum about atheism or non-belief in God or anything like that in my personal life or even online. But it's true that I don't believe in any gods or supernatural stuff. I'm not a member of any particular religion, although I was raised as a member of the Unitarian faith, which is a very mild version of Protestant Christianity, like very mild. But I was a member of the, I suppose, atheist community on YouTube a number of years ago when that was still a thing. Before the atheist community was completely taken over by social justice warriors and feminists. And today that's what I want to talk about. Not atheism exactly, but religion. Because I think most of the people in the past atheist community on YouTube came from much more religious upbringing than I came from. The Unitarian faith is really a very, very mild, watered-down version of the most liberal, low-key, low-pressure version of the Protestant faith. It's the Church of England of Canada, basically, or of North America. So even though I was raised within a religion, I wasn't a religious person. I didn't much have a belief in God after about the age of, 7 or 8 years old. Just this is the thing, you went to church. I didn't believe in any of it. It was just a thing you did. And then I stopped even doing that by about age 11. But I think for a great many people in the what was at the time the online atheist community, they were quite deeply and powerfully religious in their belief, which came with a bunch of moral or behavioral rules. And of course, this online atheist community emerged, and it gave them an opportunity to shed these strictures from their lives. And of course, then you're free to smoke pot or have irresponsible sex or behave like a jackass in any way that your religious upbringing would have disallowed you from doing. So I see the attraction. The problem is that being raised in a powerful religion provides a sort of a structure and a sense of identity to a person, and once they shed that, it leaves a hole. It leaves a gaping hole. It's not like you don't have a moral compass anymore, because everybody has a compass whether they're religious or not. It's that if you are raised in a powerful religion, a strong sense of religious identity, not the prescriptive doctrines of that religion that govern your life, but the background story elements, the narrative elements of that religion provide a very powerful sense of stability for you. It's not that you specifically obey the Ten Commandments or, the specific doctrine or the teaching of Christ or anything like that. It's just all the rest of that stuff, that background story element, that gives you that sense of self and identity and centers you and so on. And when you shed that, then you're left without that foundation. And I think that's what happened to the atheist community. You had a whole bunch of people who had shed the foundations of their sense of self and identity, and thus they needed something which left a vacuum, a power vacuum, which was filled by feminism and social justice. The Atheism Plus emerged, the takeover of the online atheist community by a different religion, and of course I mean feminism. Now, I've said many times before that I think feminism is not just cult-like, it is actually a proper, fully formed religious doctrine, masquerading as a political or a social movement. but only masquerading. It's in fact a religious movement which just uses secular language to describe and disguise itself. But as much as I am a non-religious, non-spiritual, non-mystical believing person, I think there's a very powerful and important place for religion in most people's lives. And it's not to give people, a set of 10 commandments. It's not to give them any religious doctrine that you must follow these rules because Christ said this and that and you must exactly follow this. It's the narrative story elements. It's the background. It's the sense of continuity and history and connection to the community. Those much more ephemeral things are actually much more important than any particular list of, explicit commandments or doctrines. And if you take those away from people, they are rudderless and lost, which makes them pray. It leaves a vacuum, and some other religious doctrine is going to fill that gap. And I say this having watched a number of videos from Jordan Peterson. Now, I don't know precisely that Peterson himself is a follower of any particular religion, but he is a scholar of human psychology and history, and he has stated very clearly the need and the role of religion, not in providing a prescriptive set of rules, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's ass or donkey or wife or what have you, but that narrative element, that background story, which provides this kind of glue of social cohesion for a community to form. We need that as human beings. The question I don't have an answer to is why am I, and obviously other people, how is it that I don't have a religion? And I'm not going to make any silly claim of superior intelligence or superior morality or any of that bullcrap, because that is bullcrap, even though it came from the atheist community online. I think it's very obvious, even if I don't know precisely what the answer is, that there is a religious element in my own view of the world that fulfills for me that same role. It's just I don't know exactly what it is, since I'm not a member of any particular formal religion. That's a question. If you think you have the answer, put it in the comments. But where does this lead us? It leads us, very unfortunately, in the direction of traditionalism. This is the bane. This is the hated traditional gynocentrism when you come at it from the MGTOW community's point of view. And I'm not here to say this is the way, that's the way, or anything like that. These are just thoughts and observations. And this is going to be a really rambling video that I'm going to have to edit the living bejesus out of. But I think religion, or something like religion, is really, really important for a functional community, for a functional society. We are not just computers walking around inside of fleshy brain cases. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Thanks for listening. And as always, have a lovely day.